Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL third place match. We're heading into Game 2 very shortly, and Invictus Gaming did not win Game 1. And now I remember you two at the start of the show talking about your predictions. Now, is this a...
I'm still in, man.
True. Is this a flash in the pan out from Rogue Riot? Because Rusty, you predicted 3-0.
I did a random number generator. The reason...
Hey, you can't cop out this. You still said it on broadcast.
Really, yeah.
Now's a good opportunity to actually explain it instead of saying that it was a random 3-0, shall I?
Now's your
I
chance.
didn't know who I thought was going to win. I actually thought this game will probably go to 5, so I actually just picked a random number to decide for me because I genuinely believe that Rogue Warriors could win this entire set. I think that having Duke in for IG is a weakness, and their draft now evidently is also a weakness to back that up.
I need to nail you down here. Is that your final answer, Mr. Zach Pye? Is Rogue Warriors going to do 5-0?
5-0?
You
Yeah,
said
we're
5-0.
You said Rogue Warriors were going to win in 5.
It's going to be that
I
dominant.
said we're going to 5 and I couldn't decide.
You couldn't decide.
Which is why I used the random.
What
You
a
have to
cop
choose.
out.
Do you
I
want
don't
me to
believe
choose?
any of this.
You do have to choose.
Can I choose now, though?
Yes,
We've already...
right now.
Yeah, right now. We pay you for this. Come on.
Rogue Warriors 3-0.
Okay, there you go.
okay.
Rogue Warriors
Changing
3-0.
ship, changing
Okay.
ship.
I'm going to pull a Raz.
So let's move into the second game now.
Okay.
So heading into this one, into specifically picks and bans, what is going to change up for Rogue Warriors? Because I know that they've gone onto the blue side, and it feels like they'll probably just do the same thing.
Honestly, I think I agree with... I'm on the Zach camp right now. I do think that they're going to ban Kaisa away. It's too much of a problem. You just saw SMLZ get 4 kills before he left the lane, so there's way too much risk in that pick. If a CC goes wrong, if a gank goes wrong, your entire game plan is thrown out.
IG's going to do this, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely think that ban goes out. And another thing I want to mention is the fact that Duke is playing, because the last time Rogue Warriors played IG, they had to ban out Camille and Jace. Those bans are nowhere to be seen. Without the Shy, the ban phase is completely freed up for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, certainly is. And I do think to even go one step further with the draft phase for IG, which is something they were severely lacking in that first game, they can change their bottom lane to be a lot better. I think it was a mechanical mistake down there, and the draft doesn't necessarily have to change a crazy amount. If you're going to play the Soraka and you don't put a point into heal until level 3, and you get bound 6 times at level 2, you're going to have a bad experience, and that's something that you can very easily change coming into the next one. But there is still the Caitlyn available, and I think that's the place that we should be looking towards. If you ban Kai'Sa, they'll pick Varus. If they pick Varus, pick Caitlyn, Morgana, and just try and push in constantly. The risk there, though, through that draft phase is I would pick Karma if I was the side of Rogue Warriors and just counter that completely once again, which is where I do think that this blue side advantage that they've got, Karma is always a potential flex, forces so many bans out of IG that Rogue Warriors get a better comp in the end regardless.
So I think we can comfortably say that IG should ban Karma, they should ban the Scion, and they should ban the Kaisa. That's the 3 big bans we're looking for. And if that happens, I think IG still has a pretty good shot.
So even outside of Champion Select, like, what does optimal look like for this Invictus Gaming roster? Because you have Duke in the top lane, you're not looking towards triple winning lanes and being like, well, we'll just slam them in the early game and then we'll just win. That was like the IG mantra throughout the split. So what does them winning with this setup look like?
I think they tried to draft for it, Clement, in that first game. I think they were trying to get to the team fights, and to me that is the concern. But I do think that optimal for them is trying to get to, I'd say, at least level 6 even, and then try and hit some 5v5s. That's the difference between the Shy and Duke, is the teleporting and the team fighting. But Duke legitimately struggles with his teleports, but he plays champions that need to.
And I would say that they knew that the Shy was going to have that hand injury in Week 9, so they started playing tank champions with him just to get the rest of the members familiar with that composition. And they've actually been playing a lot of scaling composition. We've seen Azir, Kog'Maw. We've also seen some of the picks with Orianna and Caitlyn where they go super late game as well. That's kind of the new IG that we know. It's not the IG we like. It's not the best IG to go against Rogue Warriors, but that is the current IG without the Shy.
And that's what really stands out to me there, Clement, is what you just said. It's like not the best IG to go against Rogue Warriors, because what you just described to me is basically Rogue Warriors. You want to scale up to mid-game, get to those team fights, and then win through scaling. So if Invictus Gaming are just doing Rogue Warriors but worse, then how this is going to turn out.
I will say that they did win just because Ning and Rookie were able to out-skirmish Rogue Warriors. They played on Week 9, and that was a massacre for IG. Invictus Gaming wiped the floor with Rogue Warriors, and that was because their mid-jungle could stand up and could fight right here. But not with this current draft with Anivia and Sejuani, where they take 40 seconds doing nothing in the early game.
Yeah, no one actually protects the jungle of Ning when he goes for an invade as well, because that's on the Rogue Warriors side of the map. They have control of top and mid, they're able to collapse. And that is definitely a place you could be looking towards for IG to fix things coming into the second game and actually find themselves with that victory is unlock Rookie. Pick something that has a bit more control in the middle lane. Talia is always the first champion that comes to mind. But actually just go and help Ning if he wants to invade big cross map and apply pressure, which is something that Ning excels at actually doing very well.
And to your point, Rusty, is this Invictus Gaming trying too hard to do something new? Because we saw the Anivia come out, we also saw in the bottom lane Soraka come in today as well. When you're suggesting other picks that can maybe do the job better, should they just not try and innovate and just go back to what worked in the regular season?
I'm pretty sure this is just doing well in scrims and not doing well on stage. It's something that they might have practiced before and they want to continue to be good at doing, and they know it works, but it continues to fail on stage because of the order of the draft. I don't think it's anything extra past that.
So what I'm trying to bait out of you, Rusty, is are we going to see another maybe different pick in the mid lane heading into this game? Okay, there we go. Thank you so much, Rusty. That's what I wanted. For now, we're going to send it over to the casters to get us into Champion Select.
Thank you so much, guys, and a Yasuo Raz. Will we see a Yasuo to continue the discussion? Okay.
No.
We're just going to put a pin in that right now.
Rusty has turned into the biggest heel of the LPL by not only having the most massive flip-flop that I've ever seen on cast.
I know, 3-0 IG to 3-0 Rogue Warriors?
Yeah, what happened there? And to now trying to claim we're going to see a Yasuo. Get this man out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. I'm done with him.
So are the rest of us, Raz. But that said, we're going to be getting into pick and ban in just a moment, and that I think that is an important discussion to have. Rookie being unlocked in the mid lane is a completely different Invictus Gaming. We didn't see it in Game 5 against Royal Never Give Up. We didn't see it in Game 1 here against Rogue Warriors.
Because Anivia is just a poor pick. Anivia is a poor pick here when they know that
careful
Rise
now,
and
Frog might be
Cyan...
watching.
I'm going to explain myself
now.
Rise and Cyan are being flexed so repeatedly by Rogue Warriors game after game. It's such a bad pick into Banner of Command users. So to Rise, yeah, it's phenomenal. Pick Anivia when you know you're going up against the Rise, but he made a poor assumption that it was going to be into Rise and that Cyan wasn't going to get swapped. He made that mistake earlier on in Game 5 versus RNG, made that mistake, of course, in Game 1 versus Rogue Warriors. They have to now be able to take a plan against it, now ban the Scion immediately in Game 2.
Well, instead, it looks like it's the Scion and the Kaisa ban away from Rogue Warriors. Likely, we're not going to see that for the rest of the series. That does mean Tahm Kench will go through, immediately picked up by Rogue Warriors. And they've already got that Trundle for Flawless, so Rogue Warriors seem to be getting what they like. On the flip side, though, IG have got a very strong bottom lane.
Yeah, Clement already mentioned what he wanted the bans to be here for Invictus Gaming. It said Scion, Kaisa, and Karma. Karma is the one lone warrior that found its way out with the dramatic, of course, zoom out from Rookie. I wonder if that's going to be banned out in second phase, just because already Rogue Warriors have themselves a pretty strong, protective, disengage-heavy composition with Taric and the Tahm Kench.
Well, now no, that Galio.
It's a, oh god, Trundle and Tahm Kench. I call him Taric. Oh,
yeah.
Goddamn. Oh man.
Got your mind on something? Some glorious pectorals, perhaps, Raz?
Give me the pink Taric.
Absolutely, the Ugg boots, Taric. Still, though, Galio is going to be picked up by Invictus Gaming, likely for Rookie. We haven't seen Galio go top in a very long time, so that could perhaps be an opportunity for Rogue Warriors to look to try and deal with that. That Karma is still open, as Vladimir was just banned away.
It's pretty strong protection-based composition coming out of Invictus Gaming. They still don't have their jungler. I want to see Rogue Warriors just ban out the Jarvan here, just because Jarvan Galio is incredibly strong with the short range that Xayah has for herself to be able to get in these team fights a little bit strong for themselves. So the fact that that hasn't been banned means that Invictus Gaming have a pretty strong early pick in second phase.
We'll see what that's going to be. We're still looking for the jungle of Ning and the top lane for Duke. Camille locked in now for either Ning or Duke. That can be flexed. We know it normally doesn't fit into Duke's wheelhouse, but hey.
Look, we're in that Thunderdome right now. I'm ready for it. Legitimately ready for Gladiators to clash, because that Camille going top lane couldn't be jungle as well. We've seen Camille jungle early on in the Spring Split.
You know what? Go even further in. Get that Jarvan in there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. Because if you have Camille, you have Jarvan, Galio, I know we're talking about 3 champions that just want to jump on a man, but that would send the theory home of just wanting to commit to these team fights and top lane heavy dives. So Right now, the Shen pick makes a lot of sense for Mouse because he might be getting dived early. Oh, there we have
got
it.
the Rise lock in, and Gangplank will be going towards Duke on that top half of the map. So, hey, if not the Jarvan, then you might as well just throw some cannonballs at the Camille Galio combo.
Yeah, that just means that that's going to be a Camille coming into the jungle. So Camille jungle, we haven't seen that in so long. That was the MLXG special early on in the split that he found himself a lot of favors with. The focus of Camille jungle is, of course, the skirmish-heavy aspect of it. So a lot of it is invade, check up on the jungler, see if you can steal an early camp. It's a little cheesy in a sense. You have pretty strong gank potential with your hook shot. Problem is you're going up against a Trundle.
Yeah.
Press the attack Trundle, incredibly strong in skirmishes. I would favor Trundle in a lot of instances, in this case as well, just because he has mid lane pushing for himself. So 2v2 looks very strong for the Rogue Warriors.
We'll see how this is going to work for them. It was that Trundle for Flawless against Edward Gaming that unlocked his team and started to get themselves back into this series. They're allowed to pick it up in game number 2, but this time they're the ones with the momentum. They're not trying to reclaim anything. They're trying to maintain tempo with what could be an even stronger composition. Doinby returning to that super carry Doinby with Rise. You could see the fans holding up the signs from the crowd.
Oh, you want to see some super
Gaming.
carry?
They're giving up a lot here to try and get the Zyrakan protection composition. Will it pay off? Will they be able to keep their composure against the super carry of Rogue Warriors?
Yeah, and that pressure means so much because we wanted to see this composition coming out of Rogue Warriors. We wanted to see the Varus pick specifically for SMLZ, so he has early lane focus. He gets it here today.
And now as we prepare to load onto the Rift for this Game 2, Invictus Gaming, in an almost unprecedented upset after their loss against RNG, now find themselves down 1 game against the Rogue Warriors in Chongqing in the Snake Pit. Fighting for fighting for 3rd place, fighting for circuit points, but more importantly than that, Raz, they are fighting for pride in this matchup. Will they be able to show that they've still got what it takes as we load onto the Rift? Seems as though the fans certainly think that they've got what it takes. Cheering non-stop after the initial chance.
Yeah, hearing way more passion this game than the last. Invictus Gaming fans definitely wanting to get the players to hear them so they get that added momentum back into it.
Mm-hmm. And we know that both of these are 2 emotional mid laners. Doinby, you saw him laughing, you saw him smiling, you see him leaping out of his seat when he takes serious wins. Well, Rookie, you saw how tragic it was when he was defeated against Royal Never Give Up. Are we going to see that once again today, or will we see Rookie being the one to leap out of his seat with a serious win? If Invictus Gaming want to try to turn the series around, it has to start here.
Yeah, we may see that super carry Doinby on the Rise pick once again, finding so much comfort on it. To be fair, Rise, probably the highest presence in the LPL currently.
Yeah.
Such a large pick. Of course, flex pick, strong in early laning phase specifically versus the Galio. So, I mean, Doinby gets a very strong pick that's been working out for himself, and he may be able to get free early on in this laning phase.
He certainly does. No leash for the Rogue Warriors. Trundle, Flawless, starting out at his red buff and quickly looping over to the other side of the map. We did see a brief leash for Ning, some assistance from Duke to help him out there. That means the bottom lane is able to start already trading, already looking for control of the waves.
That's really cool to see out of Rogue Warriors. The fact that Flawless has said that I want my lanes to start out strong, so SMLZ and Killua get the first shot at the wave itself. Same for Shen, and he just goes buff to buff, so he doesn't get impacted in the early skirmishing that Ning would look for. So Ning has actually just started out in his camps as well, so we're not seeing any early invades coming out of him. So it's looked like it's going to be Flawless going with the safest clear, not necessarily needing it, but that just means that Flawless and Ning can now just farm up and see if they can look to contest the Scuttle Crabs.
Already, Ning looks to be prioritizing that bottom river Scuttle Crab. He knows how important that bottom lane was in Game 1 of this series. Already seems to be rectifying the lack of control from that Game 1 by getting some early vision down there. Jackie Love and Baolan matching SMLZ and Killua in push, so it's still close to the middle of that lane. And it just so happens to be working out that Flawless is on this side of the map. If he were to try and head down there, could be an opening. Yeah,
he's just trapped to farming at this point because 2 crucial points of vision have come across from Invictus Gaming. One early trinket from IG side near mid lane. So if he comes through that area for a mid lane gank, not going to happen. They'll see the Trundle. And of course the Scuttle Crab. Trundle didn't come out earlier, so he should have a good heads up that that's been warded pretty heavily. So right now Trundle is going to be in a position where he's just farming it out. Unless if he wants to go topside, battle for that Scuttle Crab, or just look for Raptors camp. So I want to see what Trundle does topside to see if he looks to challenge Scuttle. Or at least Scuttle and Raptors.
It was that Trundle that really set up the momentum for Rogue Warriors against Edward Gaming. We mentioned it just a moment ago, but how it enables Rookie specifically. The 2v2 jungle synergy for the mid jungle of Rogue Warriors really has been, certainly, I should clarify, while SMLZ has been a focal point in terms of carries, he doesn't often get the chance to hard carry from the bottom lane like we saw in that game one. It's set up by Flawless. It's set up by Doinby.
Yeah, exactly. Early game has always been a major focus to Flawless and Doinby to see if they can bridge that to that late game setup point. So I agree with that. A lot of questions have been on the 2v2 to be a lot more empowered on the side of Rogue Warriors. It seems like they've lost a lot of focus in that endeavor. Doinby picking a lot of laners that just get pushed in so frequently.
Galio, Sion, yeah.
Sion is actually a good one where he can push out. But I would say mostly early picking the Rise when he knows he's going up against Cassio, Talia, just basically pick priority. So they've been picking up major and strong champions, but having really poor matchup. So a lot of the questions of, oh yeah, counter pick Doinby, we want to see Doinby on a counter pick. That's not been happening in the recent weeks. And so often early game has been Rogue Warriors shooting themselves in the foot because they have no way to bridge that early game into the late game.
Well, the Trundle has been doing wonders for them in trying to bridge that late game. They do have that flexibility this time around. And even more scary, looking at the holistic composition from Rogue Warriors, they have a lot of movement across the entire map. Shen stand united. You've got Trundle who can set up the Abyssal Voyage on Tahm Kench to help shepherd that Varus across the map. And then, of course, the Realm Warp for Doinby. If they find themselves with an advantage, it's going to be real easy for them to hunt down picks.
Oh, 100%. And that's just the Rogue Warriors style, is to hunt for picks when they get early game advantages. If they get early game advantages. If they find themselves with that lead, Tahm Kench is going to be looking mid to see if they can get Rookie. As well of bringing in, of course, the CC bot of Varus. So, of course, level 6 is going to be a big point for the bottom lane to see if they can either create a lead in the bottom lane or then extend that towards the mid lane. So it's going to be on Invictus Gaming to not fall short early, because if that does happen, then we're going to see another snowball.
And this is where we look at Duke joining the lineup for Invictus Gaming. With the Shy, the style was very simple for Invictus Gaming. Pick 3 winning lanes, win those lanes, and then win the game. With Duke, he does have a bit of a tendency to play those top laners. This time we're seeing him on Gangplank. He did take Kleptomancy, so he could be looking for a carry performance, but we'll have to keep an eye on his progress.
For Duke, yeah, a lot of it is on the preferred champion picks being a lot more tank basic, like going towards Ornn. There was one Maokai game involved in there. A lot of Duke is just picking for team fights.
Yeah.
So you're right in that instance that they just don't have an extra carry option. Now, picking 3 carry lanes, that's something really like, all right, there's a drafting issue in the enemy team, but it's when Invictus Gaming get challenged on certain lane matchups that Invictus Gaming can just toss the ball to top lane. Say, okay, you know what? We won't have a carry mid laner, and we'll eat bottom lane. A lot of it is then shipped towards top lane where the Shy can come out massively.
Yeah, it's the Shy, it's Rookie, it's Jackie Love. There's a lot that can go right for this team. We do have a quick update for you, though. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We do have a peripheral issue with Killua, the support of Rogue Warriors, on that Tahm Kench. Certainly hope that it's not going to be too much of an issue to get resolved and hopefully get right back into this.
Yeah, I mean, really early on, if you're that Tahm Kench, all you need is that Q button. Walk up, Q. Just
Q?
Yeah, lick him.
Oh, no, I take the Devour. Level 1.
Yeah,
80 carry goes to... sorry, I apologize. At my ELO, my 80 carry walks up and takes a bad trade. With Tahm Kench, I don't let him take the trade.
Devour's pretty good. Devour's actually really good level 1, just so you can get early push if you are in a tank matchup. You got that going for you. Also, you can walk up, get a couple licks across, and so you have that's your major trading tool as your W. So I agree with you. You're trying to say that's in your ELO. No. I just saying. But in the laning phase past level 1, you know, not a lot of mechanics coming across from Tahm Kench, so
I will
just
press
fix
my
it
E
enough.
button when health goes low. Yeah, hopefully we get that fixed nice and quick so that he can, because it is important to press those buttons. Every single button is vital at some point or another, especially that trinket button. for Rogue Warriors. We saw their vision control in Game 1, which shows that they are still learning and growing as a team.
Yes, but I want to see it when it gets challenged. When it's not that large of a stomp, I do want to see them commit to it early on in the game. This time around, immediately getting into this game, there's actually good vision from Invictus Gaming. And I would say Invictus Gaming is the strongest teams in positioning of wards.
Yeah.
Even though Snake has been known as the vision control team because they play so many, it's Invictus Gaming that make their wards count in the early laning phase. So going up against that, that's pretty tough because Ning will try and challenge every ward that comes down. And it's going to be a good learning curve for Rogue Warriors early on in the game when it's not that big of a stomp to try and challenge early wards and be able to get that, I would say, early value for your jungler.
We already did see the early Scuttle Crab focus for Invictus Gaming with Ning. We'll have to keep an eye on his continued control over the map, of course. He does have the immediate assistance for Rookie on that Galio if he wants to try and contest the wards or even look for some invades to set up. Once Rookie gets level 6, that becomes easy.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is actually really scary going up against Invictus Gaming at 6 from both jungle and mid lane.
Yeah.
Just because they should be a roaming duo at this point. If Ryze hasn't done a considerable amount of damage in either setting up for a gank so Galio gets pushed out of lane, or if Ryze doesn't just get a kill, just like an early point of advantage, early lead for themselves, Galio roams out, waits for Camille to form up a dive in either bottom lane or top lane, and then Galio follows through.
Yeah.
It's a tried and tested composition, initially started with the Jarvan, but now really perfected with the Camille. So it's pretty hard as a Camille. If you do fall behind as a Camille, a lot of you're just a damage-focused champion. It's really awkward to go into a tank build. So it really counts for Invictus Gaming to get that first dive working for them.
And it's so interesting that you say it with that manner, the Camille-Galio combination, because remember when Rookie first started playing with Duke on Invictus Gaming, when Duke first joined the team, that was the core of their strategy. It was Rookie roaming top with his Korean Bash brother. Whoa, there's a gank bottom. Holy cow, we'll pick up that point in a moment. Flawless has to path around his own pillar as he takes a very poor trade against Jackie Love and Baolan.
Speaking of Bash brother, I love the idea, just the imagery that Trundle was just looking them in the eyes during the entire pause period. It's like, when we unpause, I'm running at you.
Yeah.
It happened, he almost died for it, but the intent was there.
Looks like he did, in fact, go for a gank bottom. Now he's finishing off those Krugs that he started a moment ago. But that does mean that Ning will look for Scuttle Crab.
Exactly. I was a little bit surprised that he went for a bottom lane gank because it's actually incredibly difficult to get a gank across on the Xayah Rakan combo. But the problem was I wanted to see him go topside, challenge Raptors, get Scuttle Crab, but he just allowed Ning to get both Scuttle Crabs, get his own Raptor camp, and now just have pressure in essentially the entire map.
There's that ward on the Grump of Flawless, so we'll see if that's where he goes for. Already a ping onto it as recall is completed from both of those junglers. And just from the first back of those junglers alone, you can see what they want to do. Double longsword for Flawless. He wants to try and affect the map as quick as he can. Whereas Ning on the other side does take challenging smite. Killua, wow, I can't believe he knew that SMLZ was going to be hit by that. Impressive.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Knows his support ability ranges.
That being said, they do want to search for an early base. Baolan doesn't have that much mana. And at this point, even though you'd say that the early flash that they were able to take on a Baolan should be impactful, might even work for another gank, but it's so safe for Rakan. Of course, if you were Xayah, you have the extra range with your E, so he should be fairly comfortable as long as he has the mana to utilize his E and just run back towards that Xayah with the flash as well.
You've got both the the grand entrance and the battle dance in order to escape from targets. And of course, the quickness can be used to turn around and run away.
That's true.
Not that it looks very stylish, but it's something that we could very well see. Still, though, not too much action outside of that early gank within the first few minutes. Doinby trying to get towards that level 6 as quick as he can to keep up with Rookie, who's actually stepping in the river to look for some vision, or at the very least feign some vision for his team. We'll see how Flawless decides to play around this, as he's already heading over to try and counter.
It's a pretty difficult game right now for Flawless because at this point, he should know that bottom lane is going to be a major point of focus, especially with level 6 being pinged out by Rookie. So Rookie is in a position where he can be available for a gank. Pretty cheeky from Mouse.
Yeah, doesn't even have to get into turret range.
So it's just going to be on IG to set up for that dive, set up for a fight, and it's going to be all eyes on Camille to make it happen.
Now take a look at this. Rookie's actually headed bottom right now as Jackie Love and Baolan step forward. Perhaps some miscommunication as that's the stand united. Realm Warp gets Doinby. No, he wasn't standing in it. Flash Shadow Dash onto Jackie Love. He flashes to back away. That's first blood and a kill onto Doinby. 2-0 Rogue Warriors again.
Yeah, I don't understand what Jackie Love and Baolan were trying to do, what pressure they were thinking they were applying. Level 6 on Mouse made it easy for him to just join the fight. And Rookie didn't want to be a part of that. He based, so I was just a little bit too ambitious from the bottom lane of IG.
And it's not even done there, Raz. They turn onto the Infernal Dragon. Mouse immediately recalled to head to the other side of the map. Rookie actually goes in. He's going to look for damage here. Killua has got Flash, but it's a Flash Shield of Durand. Flawless is over the wall, and so is Killua. Rookie can't catch up. Oh, no. That feels bad.
Yeah, that hurts. At least they got the flash of 2 members, but how it all started. Look at Galio, back at base. He cancels his TP because it was a little bit too late. It was the easy pickings for Rogue Warriors to pick up that bottom lane.
And suddenly, 7 minutes in, we're seeing similar advantages to Rogue Warriors. This time, though, it's distributed amongst Doinby and Mouse instead of SMLZ. Ning is trying to get back to even in the jungle as he's going to steal away the red buff successfully from Flawless. Potentially try to hinder the acceleration of Rogue Warriors in this game, too.
Yeah, it's just trying to get anything to equalize what ended up happening. So picking up red buff, sure, that's nice for experience, knowing that Flawless hasn't been farming up all too well. But Flawless, incredibly comfortable, knowing that there's so much focus that he can have provide towards the bottom side of the map. So once SMLZ and Killua ping 6, they already have, of course, the earlier game advantage for themselves. They can just go straight towards bottom lane and try and abuse it.
We've almost got level 6 from Jackie Love and Baolan 2. Rookie is level 7, so he does have his hero's entrance. Ning not quite at the Hextech ultimatum just yet, as he's just rushing. And already the wards have been set up on this bottom half of the map. Mouse doesn't have Stand United, doesn't have Teleport. We'll see if Rogue Warriors can see this coming, though, as double blue picked up by our mid laners.
And here's the thing, if you're Invictus Gaming, at least one thing you should be comfortable with is the fact that even though the first gank worked out, it's actually going to be difficult to make it happen again unless if they get caught with the pants down. So Rookie still has his ultimate. That's still there. Even though they don't have the TP from Duke, Duke will have his ultimate pretty soon. So there's still a counter strategy.
And the flash, Doinby trying to get out. He's able to escape the hero's entrance, but he's not able to escape for long. Abyssal Voyage will get Killua and SMLZ in there. That's the Pillar of Filth onto Rookie. He's pathed. He can't walk through it, but Camille can. Remember, he has no flash and he has no way out. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Good immediate reaction from Killua to head straight mid lane and at least look for a trade. The combination we were seeing from Camille and Galio, it was there, but the problem was that it wasn't immediate from Ning. So when Ning utilized his ultimate, it wasn't immediately followed up by Galio. It was used by Galio in the previous statement. I know we'll look back at the replay of that, but you'll see it gave Rise an opening to walk out of the knockup. So he was able to evade the knockup, made it a lot more difficult for Galio to extend out and get the kill, and because of that, gave a window for RW to get a punish.
And still Rogue Warriors are trying to accelerate their advantage. That said, though, it is only 200, 300 gold difference between these teams as the waves continue to crash in. Flawless actually spotted on the bottom half of the map. Might think that he's pretty sneaky right now, but he has been spotted. But look at that. Doinby's actually roaming before Rookie again.
Yeah, even though the wards are there, even though they see Rogue Warriors, what's difficult is that Invictus Gaming have to concede so much. SMLZ has his ultimate available, and Tom Kent will follow it up with his exhaust and further up CC. So Jackie Love and Baolan still have to pay immense amount of respect to the pressure the Rogue Warriors are applying.
And that pressure from Doinby and Flawless has given a lot of wards on that bottom half of the map for Rogue Warriors. That means SMLZ and Killua can start to step forward and push and harass in this lane. Still 8.6, so we don't have the new W on Varus. And Ning is actually hanging out down here.
This is only for a counter gank because he can't believe that this dive or this gank will work. It's incredibly difficult knowing that SMLZ has flash.
Teleport coming in from Rookie behind them. That's the Cannon Barrage. Killua forced to walk through it, but look at this. Everybody's showing up to kill the members of Rogue Warriors. That's one. Killua is about to make 2 as they pass it over. Ning gets a kill, and Rookie gets the other.
All right, I didn't believe it'll happen. Mouse ended up using his ultimate a little later on, I don't know if he had available to himself, but ultimately that was Rogue Warriors real slow to the push. So Invictus Gaming get a lot for them, and they might be able to get a tower here.
Yeah, Ning is still hanging out down here. Flawless. You got to be careful there, bud. That's the subjugate onto Baolan. Pillar of Filth, but the ultimatum. It's firing onto Baolan. He goes low, but heal keeps him topped up. Now Doinby is going to try to make something happen as Mouse teleporting in. Hero's entrance, but Doinby has found his first kill. Teleport to match from Duke. It's 2 versus 4. Make that 3 as Killua joins in. But still, Doinby doing some good damage on this rise. They're trying to chase up. Ning over the wall has been spotted. He goes in. He's found Doinby. Snared. Mouse in the front. Tanking as much as he can, but Killua pulls him away. He gets out of the shield of the Durand, and still Duke will go down. SMLZ joins the fight. Jackie Love sacrifices himself. Ning able to get 1 kill in answer, but it is chaos, Raz.
Rogue Warriors were just stalling for SMLZ to come back, while Invictus Gaming were stalling for Rogue Warriors to kind of walk into the Camille trap.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Both worked out, but it was Rogue Warriors that got the immediate advantage and got the kill across. So now SMLZ has this massive wave crashing in with the cannon minion. It's going to suck for Jackie Love. He loses a lot of experience for it.
And already a CS advantage for SMLZ. That very well could be the Gwinsu's finish as he makes his way. Yeah, the kills and the assists were enough. Big power spike now for Rogue Warriors after the end of that fight. And look at that. Doinby's even able to get this whole minion wave. Oh, but for 1 at the last. Look at his face, too. He knows.
Oh, damn.
But still, it's 12 minutes in. It did end up being a 4-for-4 trade overall, and it all starts with a dive onto Flawless.
So 2 things immediately. Mouse, late ulti. Didn't work out in the previous fight. Late TP. So Trundle ended up dying for it. But it was all right because they still have the strategy recognizing that Varus was going to get there soon enough, and they just needed to stall for time knowing that both Jackie Love and Duke, both damage dealers, were low enough. So if they were able to bait them in, which they ended up doing so, that they could turn the fight. So sure, Invictus Gaming going back, thinking that they can get more kills. Stall enough time for SMLZ to come in.
Once the 80 carry shows up, it's big damage from that pickaxe recurve bow, and an easy few kills to Rogue Warriors to clean it up, but they do lose 1 more in return.
Now in a rough spot where Doinby has 3 kills to his name. I would say about 5 CS to Gallios, so he's in a really comfortable spot carry-wise that he can just push out this lane. Maybe swap out for TP. Actually, no, he doesn't have Spellbook this time around, so he's actually committed to the cleanse. So a lot of it, he should be playing through mid and looking to roam with his team.
And look at this. Infernal Dragon started on the respawn. Ning is in the area, and Duke is on his way. He's got Cannon Barrage. That was Chains of Corruption actually missing Invictus Gaming's duo. And now that they didn't get the kill, they don't have the safety around this dragon. Rogue Warriors decide to back it up.
Yeah, both skill shots from Killua and SMLZ missing means that they can't really look to do too much off that.
You can see Ning and Rookie are trying to finish off this dragon. Flawless over the wall, level 8 to level 8. He's got Smite ready. He's engaged upon it, and he gets the Infernal. Hextech Ultimatum. Baolan goes in. Killua pulls SMLZ to safety before the quickness, but he cannot save him. As he flashes over the wall, he saves himself, and Killua will be the sacrificial lamb. 2 kills for IG, but double Infernal to Rogue Warriors.
That's why Rogue Warriors are going to be saying, worth question mark? Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of it? Just a tiny bit of that question mark? Sure, 2 kills means a lot, but double Infernal means that if Rogue Warriors can find themselves stabilizing, not lose too much based off this push, I think they're going to be much happier.
IG getting some kills, getting some gold. It's fairly chaotic, but they're still in this. Ning is actually finishing off red buff right now, and Doinby has been spotted behind him. He's trying to collapse onto Jackie Love, but Jackie Love gives the plan away. Look at the burst. Takes to the skies. Jackie Love goes up. SMLZ going down, but saved by Mouse. It's Rookie who slams down and finally ends that Varus. He joins the fight with enough damage to finally drop Mouse. Flawless. Looking for the pillar. Abyssal Voyage. No flash, and Ning goes down. Realm Warp to get Doinby in there, but Baolan's over the wall. No snare ready for Rookie. Rune Prison, not quite ready yet. Flawless. He's almost got the pillar, but Rookie has got flash. That's 1, and Flawless decides not to activate it for 2.
And, I mean, we were expecting this game to happen. With how many ways Rogue Warriors can teleport themselves into the fight, Rogue Warriors are just constantly looking for it, believing they will have enough members in every situation. This time around, it turns out properly, and they get a mid lane turret for their trouble.
Not only is it mid lane turret, it's their first turret of the game. Duke actually did get that first brick solo goal in the top lane on Gangplank. But here it goes again, Raz.
This is what I like from Galio initially. I thought that Rookie did a great job at protecting the Ning initially and Baolan as well. 2 squishy champions that really had difficulties of, I would say, finding line of fire because Doinby wasn't going to be able to get past the Galio initially. That being said, press ulti, and you're going to go for a chase.
Now in the bottom lane, SMLZ is pushing up once again. JackeyLove and Baolan are there to try and clear some wards, and they spot Ning actually in that mid lane along with Rookie, so they're able to just deny some CS to JackeyLove. But Raz, this is a chaotic game. 16 minutes, 18 kills on the board, and it doesn't really look to be slowing down.
Yep, that's because Rogue Warriors are the ones that want to be continuously looking for these fights. IG's composition is around structure, waiting for Camille, waiting for the Galio to get into position and work around their carries. The carries need a little bit of time for these items to be picked up, but it's not going to be happening when SMLZ is going to be looking to fight based off Verisult. So it's going to be on Baolan and JackeyLove to be playing incredibly safe here, knowing that they don't know where Flawless is. And Mouse, once he has ult, he doesn't have it just yet, that they're going to be looking for it on cooldown.
And taking a look at the gold right now, you can see about a 500 gold advantage for SMLZ in that bottom lane, 200 for Doinby, but in the top lane, Duke is actually pretty big. He's 1,100 gold ahead of Mouse, and Ning is also sitting pretty comfortable over Flawless. Now the bottom tier 1 has been taken. Ning on the invade, finds Doinby. That's the hero's entrance, and he goes down. Cannon Barrage actually gifts the kill over to Duke on the other side of the map as this 4-man dive bottom. They've already taken the tier 1, not quite looking for the tier 2, as Killua saves SMLZ yet again.
Yeah, pushing them out of red side jungle. This time around, the execution of the Camille-Galio combination works out flawlessly. Doinby is not going to be able to get out of that one at all, so that's what they're going to be looking for. If they can ever find that pick going forward, just on the major carries of SMLZ, Doinby, and if Killua can't get a save across, objectives are going to get only larger and larger. 17 minutes into the game, that can result in a Baron.
And the next dragon is a mountain, so even more incentive to not lose anyone on this bottom half of the map or any part of the map. As Essence Reaver now finally finished off for JackeyLove. Flawless won't be able to deny that recall there. And only 2 minutes left on that Rift Herald, but already you can see Ning is sort of shadowing the pit. Might look for it in a little bit. But we'll see what the focus is going to be from Rogue Warriors. Yes, they've got a lot of roam and the ability to move across the map, but we talked about it earlier. It's got to be Rogue Warriors moving first because there is so much ability for Rookie to join the fight faster than Doinby, faster than Mouse even.
Yep, they're just trying to play the waves. They're right about being quick on their feet. If Rise gets a push on mid, and if it's going to be Galio who needs to respond with that push, he won't be there for about, let's say, 34 seconds, so he can actually roam and press ulti. So it's around that timing that Rogue Warriors are trying to take advantage of it. Now that being said, Galio is now bottom lane. That changes things a little bit more. Now Galio is going to be using more TP rather than ulti because he's not going to be available for top lane fights. Maybe if he's in position for mid lane fights, sure. But that changes how Rogue Warriors think about team fight timings.
We'll see what that change is going to be. Rapid Fire Cannon now picked up for SMLZ on this Varus. This is a build that we've seen him take before. Loves himself that crit build, not only on Kai'Sa, but also on Varus. So we'll see if he decides to continue sticking in that direction. As JackeyLove is actually pushing up onto this mid-tier 1. The support and top lane from Rogue Warriors are just behind him, but Invictus Gaming get to start to work on its health bar, slowly chip it down. They've got bottom wave pushed in, they've got control over the red side jungle of Rogue Warriors, and that Mountain Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds.
And that'll take 2 more waves before Invictus Gaming going to be comfortable taking that mid lane tower. So that happened because Flawless was back at base, but Rogue Warriors have to create a strategy of getting a skirmish down here, so JackeyLove can't just walk up to the tower freely like that.
Ning is invading the red buff, but Flawless sees him doing this. Steps up, drops a ward, but doesn't get the smite, and immediately Ning goes in.
Go.
Rookie was there. It was a trap all along. Not one, but two. Flawless goes low, saved by Killua. Chains of Corruption onto the front line, and look at the burst. Doinby joins the fight as it's a massive 5v5. Rookie goes low, and the bounce gets him down. The further chase. Recall is going to get Mouse back to base. He's got teleport. They flash in for another. SMLZ pulled back out once again as Doinby goes a bit too far forward.
This is turning into greed points here. Rogue Warriors could have got a massive win had they not chased into a bush they had no vision in. But still, I want to talk about what Rogue Warriors did in that one, just because it was all about protecting Flawless in the initial engage, keeping him alive, making it so IG pump as many resources into him, and they still get no benefit off of it. It worked out. Rogue Warriors come out with a counter strategy, and it worked out initially before, you know, they tried to run down the red side jungle, and they met a gangplank.
Some excellent mathematics from Ning, some quick maths to know just what he needs to finish off that dragon from the burn of red buff as he's continuing to press the map with his advantage. Though it was 2 for 2 in kills, mid-tier 1 goes down. Dragon now picked up by Invictus Gaming. Though you might look at that and think, okay, that's even in gold in terms of kills. Invictus Gaming are still starting to run the pace of the game, and this is the Invictus Gaming that dominated during the entire Spring Split.
Yeah, not a lot of times where you look to Rogue Warriors picking up wins in team fights, and they turn into tower and tower. It looks like Mouse is getting picked up, actually.
Yeah, Ning non-stop movements across the map. He's found Mouse. Duke goes low. Oh, good guy, Jungler. Even gifts the kill over to the Gangplank. Already 4-1-4, 25 CS ahead with Kleptomancy. Jungle going great. Mid looking perfect. Duke on that Gangplank making bank. Invictus Gaming are starting to get awfully massive.
That's because Ning has found that opening, knowing that Rogue Warriors are not in position for Baron as an immediate response, not in position for top lane tower as immediate response. So they got a free kill and allowed Ning to come back in the map. So they understand their timings, which is why they're still getting so many more objectives, even after these fights are kind of turning into null points, right? 2 for 2, 1 for 1. But Invictus Gaming somehow still finding leads means that they can still get much more because no matter the kill counts, they're still on the map where Rogue Warriors still have to head back to base.
And that's what we see right now. A completely different vision game. This is exactly what you wanted to see, Raz, from Rogue Warriors. Yeah, when they're winning, they can place wards, they can control the map, but what about when it's contested? What about when Ning and Rookie and Duke are running the pace of the game? And they've set themselves up a defensive line on that top half of the map, knowing that the Baron is up, so they don't give anything else up. But look at the rest of the map. Outside of that river, it's fairly dark. Mouse is very far back, clearing that way.
Yeah, they can't do anything. Even though I want to see them place more control wards, it's actually difficult for them to find any openings just because of the reason why Mouse died last time. They don't know where Ning is. If Ning comes in with a spot, he has Galio on top of him. That turns into a side lane pick. So side lane pressure is firmly in favor of IG. So you do have to give him respect.
An immediate engage has found flawless. There was an attempted save, but it's still not enough. Rookie with the flash 3 taunt. Finds Killua, forces SMLZ back. Ning with the dive. He's going under a tier 2. Shadow Dash finally drops him down, but Rookie with the winds of war bring the winds of change. Meanwhile, the save, Dracula goes in. Baolan sacrifices to try and protect. Realm Warp is going to get Mouse in, but Rookie with the sidestep. Dracula kites it back, and they both go down. It was a mechanics battle, but here comes Duke. A new challenger has appeared. He flashes in. He gets one, and now it's tank versus tank. 4 for 4 traded so far, Raz. And Duke sitting on the barrel, knows he can't get the kill, so decides to back off.
Yeah, he's afraid of that red buff, Shen. What are you doing, IG? What's happening here? That was such a good win, and then they just decide to try and get a tower dive with a 2 HP Baolan?
Yeah.
With a 10% HP? With Ning, I can understand he didn't think he was going to get CC locked under tower, right? At least there you can get, you're like, all right, I was a little bit too trigger happy. Let's take a second look at this because this was the result of Invictus Gaming have very strong vision control. They get the first kill, they try and go for the second, and I like this. You get Tahm Kench, walk away. But they go for an extra one. He thinks he can stick around long enough to get another Q proc into SMLZ, but because of that moment of greed, you see this happen. And then Baolan's like, well, I'm not going to retreat. I'm actually just going to fall with my brother. And then he dies as well. All of this is just another game of Invictus Gaming starting a fight strong and then just losing their minds.
Oh, Duke with the fancy sidestep there, actually stepping back to get away from Doinby's damage. But still, it was that 4 versus 4 at the end of the fight. We already saw how trigger-happy Ning was the moment he had vision, he went in. But now it's Rogue Warriors grouped up. They found Baolan. They know he has no ability to escape. Jackie Love with a 3-man snare is able to back away with his Blade Collar. But now that's 1 man down in front of the Baron.
Yeah, they might just go for it right now. They know that Baolan is down and out, and they have ways to reposition for a fight. They don't have Doinby ulti just yet. They actually might roll down the clock just for Doinby to have that ulti.
Doinby steps up. Cannon Barrage prevents him from getting into range. He's found Duke, looks for a little bit more burst onto Jackie, but doesn't find it.
But now Rogue Warriors have Doinby ulti. He can push out this wave, head right back towards Baron, and play that same game again. Remember game 1, they were playing around Baron so well with Doinby ulti. That's a game they can play now, just around his ulti. They're not going to do it now, but that's something to keep in mind.
Certainly keep that strategy at the forefront of our thoughts if they should find themselves in that opportunity again. I mean, the reason they only had this opportunity to find the pick onto Baolan was because Ning was so trigger happy.
Yep.
I mean, Yes, they were scouting for vision. They were looking for a ward. He places a control ward, sees a Trundle, no hesitation, dives onto him. And then once they found the kills, as you said, continues to dive under another turret. Baolan, I mean, bless him for trying to follow, but that was a very greedy play. It's working out so far. He's 6-3-10, 16 kill participation, the highest on his team. But if he continues to run the pace like that, it becomes a very dangerous game to play when you're up against a Varus, when you're up against Doinby's Rise.
Exactly. So you don't want to make those mistakes again.
And they're in the same spot.
This time around, playing it a lot more safely. So Ning has reason to go in, knowing that he has Galio nearby. This is a reasonable fight to be looking for if you're Invictus Gaming.
This time it's his team supporting him that sort of cools the bloodlust, I suppose. They steal the blue buff, they clear out some vision.
And ironically, I would like for him to do that again. He has the Guardian Angels this time around. So if he goes in, straight looking to dive, he will have the follow-up. He shouldn't be afraid of that.
Yeah, that's just what they were looking for with Flawless. I believe we just saw the hook shot denied by the Pillar of Filth from Flawless. I call it the Pillar of Filth. It's the Pillar of Ice now.
Yeah.
But it's all Pillar of Filth in my heart.
Depends on what skin he's using.
Old Trundle.
He has original. He has OG Trundle,
Yep.
so it's filth in our eyes.
This time around. But now look at how Rogue Warriors respond. They're in the mid lane. They're staying grouped. They're constantly maneuvering around the dark patches of the map to try and pull IG out of hiding.
Oh, where's
That's
this
a
going?
Realm Warp, but they've actually found Rookie from the side. Killua picks up Doinby and saves him, and the Stand United as he flashes back. Grouped up as 5 now. There's no kills on the board just yet, but Rogue Warriors are able to push up the wave and back off.
That's 2 flashes. 1 summoner cleanse down for Doinby. If you're Invictus Gaming, that was worthwhile. Go straight towards Baron and know that if you want a fight, you can get it, and Doinby is going to be the target.
And that's it. Blue Trinket sees them on the Baron, but it's already at half health. Mountain Dragon is doing work. Flawless tries to step up, but it's already been picked up. Invictus Gaming now with the Baron buff. They're going to turn and try to find some kills. Killua tries to retreat. Flawless on the side zoning. Might be collapsed upon. Ning with the ultimatum. Locked down by Baolan. He goes low and will finally die. Mouse trying to get in there, but Rogue Warriors, they can't decide if they want to fight or not. Doinby looks for burst, but is blocked. Ning chases him onto the wall. Remember, he has no flash. A good shield, but a tactical sleep should slow. He actually pops the Guardian Angel there of Ning, but Duke is on the way, and Baolan goes in. That's the kill now to IG, and they've still got that Baron.
And it would have been much worse if Rookie just had his flash. He was just 5 seconds off of it, so he would have had the taunt flash opportunity coming through. They still get 2 kills here, so they might be able to get this inhibitor.
Yeah, they're continuing to push forward. SMLZ is on the fountain right now. Mouse holding that top wave single-handedly, but the inhib has already broken. Still 26 seconds for Doinby. Hero's entrance backwards. Ning goes in. He's found Killua. That's the hero's entrance once again, and they've got a kill.
You know who else is kind of left in the dirt? Mouse is behind enemy lines at the moment.
He absolutely is. Ning continues to chase. Rogue Warriors are just falling apart here, trying to walk back to base, but doesn't get an opportunity. 2 inhibs down and a plethora of kills to IG.
Yeah, I was a little worried there because any more kills that would go across could have been Invictus Gaming just standing their ground for the
ending the game even.
Exactly. So thankfully, it was Ning that was really down in HP, so they didn't want to go for it. Would have been a little bit too risky. So they got a lot for it. Now focus is going to be on bottom lane. Rogue Warriors have one more chance to save themselves this game.
We're starting to see some big damage as Infinity Edge has been completed for SMLZ. Still looking for perhaps a Void Staff from Doinby. He's sitting on 2 damage items and that Righteous Glory to try and reposition in team fights. But Invictus Gaming, they're looking massive. 4 items on the Xayah plus an Elixir of Wrath. 3 items, and one of those is a Rabadon's on Rookie. This fight is going to be absolutely huge. And don't even get me started on the Gangplank's items.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't ignore the gold down there.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
4,000 is that? No, don't worry about it.
You can say it, but I ain't looking.
Yeah.
So why this matters is Doinby, or at least Rogue Warriors had such a massive lead early on like this. The kills that were coming through, they felt pretty confident. Doinby had 3 kills for himself, so he went towards the Righteous Glory, the tank item, because he thought that they were going to be able to convert that mid-game. Now that he's gone towards the item and they're behind, he's going to be lacking in so much damage. His spike is so far behind, and the tankiness doesn't mean too much because Invictus Gaming going to be able to burn it. So this is one of those games where he's like, all right, I mean, I'm not going to blame the item, but it's not going to be helping me any further on.
That's the Righteous Glory. He gets some burst onto Baolan, but Flawless dies in the meanwhile. SMLZ walks away from Doinby as he enters the fight. Shadow Dash, but they're diving the turret now. They're going to end the game right here. Doinby goes low and dies. Once again, Mouse behind enemy lines as Duke has found SMLZ and puts him right in the bin. Another kill to Invictus Gaming as they are set to close out game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, this game's going pretty quickly, so I can understand what you're trying to say. But Duke showcasing that he is not just a tank player. Put him on the GP, and he's going to be coming in hot.
And 31 minutes in, Invictus Gaming tie up the series, 27 kills to 16. And we're now down to a best of 3.
That was nice. A nice comeback from Invictus Gaming, and the best thing about it is that they adapted so well to the hectic style Rogue Warriors were throwing their way. Rogue Warriors had such a strong lead for themselves around Doinby. They knew that Rogue Warriors were going to try and consistently skirmish, try and force mistakes, but the mistakes came on Rogue Warriors' side, so Invictus Gaming were able to get the goal lead back in their favor.
Massive performance out of Invictus Gaming with those very aggressive fights, able to turn things around. Look at Jackie Love's damage over the course of that game. And of course, Galio for rookie, Ning on the Camille doing work all across the map.
Yep, you have Camille ulti coming through, GP ulti flying at you, and Galio pressing taunt. Of course, he has the space to walk up and deal this much damage, so really well done from Jackie Love.
All right, now for more, let's throw it over to the analysts to break down that game 2.
Thank you so much, Dom. And all right, we're back. We've righted the ship. IG, they've whited the ship, and we're back to 1-1. It's best of 3 now, and IG, they fixed their draft, basically, is what it boils down to. We saw this missile come out of them, and it's like, well, if you don't engage in us, we're going to engage on you.
Yeah, this composition, a lot of things went the way we said it did. If you look at the bans, they ban out the Kai'Sa, they ban out the Sion. And what that means is that they do have an insurance policy. If things get messy, the Kai'Sa is not going to get as fed. And they also take mid lane priority away from Doinby. That's a really big thing because they want to move on the map and they want to pinpoint SMLZ and instantly kill him. Like, this was a drone mission coming out from IG.
Yeah, the other thing as well that IG were able to fix, which is where you do have to perhaps bring that up as a curious note, is that they got Xayah Rakan. There wasn't one of the two banned away, and they're on red side, so of course they're going to pick that in their first rotation. Now that's a confidence play from Rogue Warriors, saying Varus Tahm Kench is fine, we can pick that into at no problem. But still, you'd rather have the Caitlyn Morgana type of thing as your organic counter to it. So it does feel like they've weaved themselves a draft they wanted and didn't want at the same time, and almost had to compromise the solution when the bans could very easily just be changed to getting rid of the Ornn. I don't think it's that important to remove from Duke in the top lane and just ban Rakan, in my opinion anyway, and not be too worried about the Xayah.
What was the opinion on the Gangplank pick that we saw here? Because we're seeing less and less Gangplank nowadays. We're seeing more, honestly, Grastian dying when we do see the Gangplank. And it's also Duke at the end of the day. We've only really seen tanks have him so far.
Yeah, I really like the Gangplank pick because it works on multiple levels. First of all, it is a counter into the Shen. You can get there before the Shen actually can do anything. And it is also a combo piece with the Camille, Dome, and the Galio coming down, and also the Death Starter in the center as well. And also, compositionally wise, it also counters what Rogue Warriors wants to do, because Rogue Warriors can't walk up. Their longest attack range is 575. That's not very far, so you can use the barrels to zone out a lot of the damage that comes back in when your first drone strike doesn't work.
I'm really happy with the Gangplank pick as well, not just for the composition, but because they gave Duke a carry champion, which is something that, like, again, IG's recipe for success is very simple. We all know what it is. It's a carry in every single lane, or at least the ability to flex a carry to every lane. And only rarely would the Shy pick something like Ornn up when the comp required it, or they were experimenting, right? So this is almost back to what IG are very good at doing, and that's playing with carries in every single position. And you could see almost a little bit more comfort there. There was a couple of moments where, like, communication's definitely still a problem. It has not been fixed by either team, honestly, through that game. It was messy, but I really like the Gangplank being picked up as a confidence pick from IG.
And that's it, really. You hit the nail on the head there, Rusty. It was not clean. It was them going back to kind of what worked for them, but with the Shy in the top lane. But as we take a look at some of these replays, absolutely not clean at all. And it started from the early game as well, when it actually looked like, are we just going to have the exact same game, a carbon copy of game 1?
Yeah, and speaking about not clean, Doinby can't even get fully into the Rise ultimate, just the booty hanging out there, so he's not going to get in. But it doesn't matter, because again, Rogue Warriors are still making the plays early. They're starting off with these super clean moments and actually getting from that pick an Infernal Drake. And you're looking at this, you're like, all right, 1-0 up, they've got an Infernal. Their composition does have a lot of damage and they have a lot of mobility when they hit level 6. They're going to go everywhere on the map. They're just going to control the map and snowball it to victory. But then, of course, the messiness does ensue.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing about these two compositions. They all have so many globals to go bottom. So after Rogue Warriors had their shot, it was IG's turn. And they answered back with 3 kills. This should have taken them very far ahead in the game. However, a lot of things do kind of happen out of sync here. They don't really look at the Varus kill timer. They're still going in even after picking up all the kills that they possibly could, and they don't back out fully in time. If you look at SMLZ, he's already walking towards the fight. But once again, IG, they're looking for more. They're kind of greeting the situation, and this just happens over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like fight after fight, and most of them just go even. It's like 2 for 2, 3 for 3, and that's like all we see for the entire game, basically. So for you guys, what was the moment in the game that you really felt like, okay, this is IG's victory? Was it 5 seconds before the Nexus fell, or was there a clear moment in the game where you're like, okay, now they're going to close it out?
I mean, there was like, I don't know, attempt number 8 at getting a gank off where it was successful. I believe it was at the red buff when things went more comprehensively in their favor. And I think the biggest determining factor as to why it started to shift is the active involvement of Duke in the following fights.
Yeah.
You could tell that he'd snowballed, jungle was ahead, and then you see the last remaining member really come in and contribute himself fully to the team fight, and it looks like perhaps this is the final thing that IG needed to genuinely be more successful, and you'll see the kegs coming out from him just here. That's that first big step in that direction.
Yeah, this is the team fight where you really notice that Duke is dealing the damage now, and just the Rogue Warriors members, they cannot walk up. They burned 2 flashes here and instantly got blown up by Duke's barrel.
And we see Ning getting an MVP here as well on that Camille pick. Really likes it in the jungle, of course. You're not seeing the split pushing coming out of him, but did set up his team for success with that Galio coming in.
I really think that Ning benefited from this messy game because he is a warrior Triforce jungler, and if Rogue Warriors could have tightened up their play a little bit, not give so many kills, this champion is actually quite useless. He didn't have a very good early game, but he grew out of the ashes of the messiness.
Yeah, I will say that there is, whilst it was a messy game, there is cleanliness in the composition from IG that actually helps them get across the line ultimately. Having a wombo, very simple to execute, makes a lot of sense, and that is the enabling factor once again in a game that is so confusing, so up and down and back and forth. They have one simple strategy when it comes to team fighting, and that is just so easy to do.
Yeah, important for Ning as well in the jungle, because in that game 1, it actually was very messy coming out of the jungle role, coming out of the support role, and really, you don't really see those mistakes come out of anyone really on IG. That's one of the reasons why they had one of the most dominant splits in LPL history aside from EDG in 2016. But we'll see if they can keep up that cleanliness as we head to a short break before we get into game number 3.